everyone, and welcome to AME 2024. My name is Shae Eichele. I am the host of the Manufacturing Muscle podcast and marketing coordinator for the HEH Group. Today, I am with sales manager Aisha from Sandvik Coromant. I'm so excited to have her here, be talking to her about how she got into manufacturing and all the things that she has done for women in manufacturing and just moving herself forward as a career. So Aisha, why don't you introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about you, and then we'll go from there.
Great, thank you so much, Shae. I'm really excited to be here. As Shae mentioned, I work for Sandvik Coromant. I'm the regional sales manager for the state of Michigan. I work for Sandvik Coromant, which is the largest cutting tool manufacturer in the world. We sell a lot of different cutting tools that mount primarily on CNC mills and CNC lathes. I have a team of 9 individuals reporting to me here in the state of Michigan, but we have a much larger team here in the U.S. with over 250 salespeople. We are a Sweden-based company, and our name is known all over the world.
It is, and you guys were the first company from the tooling side that I knew when I first got into manufacturing a few years ago. So
Great.
Can you tell us a little bit how you got started in manufacturing?
Sure. Really, my journey in manufacturing happened very unplanned, if you will. I was working for an IT company in the office and just looking to improve myself, from a career perspective.
Sure.
Started working for a small tool company by the name of Cogstill Tool Products. And Cogstill is based out of South Carolina. They sell fine burnishing and reaming tools. So I ran a small sales office with some engineers and a VP of sales here in Michigan. Worked there till right after 9/11, and as you know, that was a tragedy for our country, and a lot of businesses shut down after that. So unfortunately, I did get laid off. But within a matter of like 5 or 6 weeks, I started working for another company by the name of Atlas Copco, which is also a tool manufacturing company, but they do like assembly tools, not so much machine tools.
Okay.
And when I worked at Atlas Copco was when I really started to gain a passion for manufacturing itself, and found a lot of interest in tooling and had an ambition. I really wanted to get into sales. And unfortunately, there were some roadblocks being a woman in a predominantly male industry when I worked there, but I came to Sandvik Coromant with the ambition right from the get-go, I want to work in sales. So I've been with Sandvik Coromant now for 18 years.
Wow.
It's been a journey. I had a 5-year plan coming into Sandvik Coromant. I was like, I'm going to be in sales selling tools in 5 years. That is not how it happened.
That's not how it happened.
Not at all. Actually took me 16 years.
Wow.
But coming in first as a channel manager and now working as a regional sales manager, I believe everything happens for a reason and in its own time. And while it's been an uphill battle for me to really get where I wanted to go, I think every step of the way as an opportunity for me to learn and grow and be more prepared for the opportunities ahead.
That's such a good story, because it's kind of like you fell into a type of manufacturing, sales, like being in IT, like it's kind of techish, and then moving into the sales portion. And it's interesting that you knew from right then and there that you wanted to be in sales, because I feel like a lot of people, when I'm talking to them, a lot of the times it's, I didn't know I wanted to be a machinist. I didn't know I wanted to be an engineer or maybe in marketing. But I always tell kids, why would you sell cars? Why would you go sell cars when you could sell machine tools, or you could sell tooling, or you could sell inspection equipment, something in the manufacturing industry?
Yes.
What about manufacturing made you want to sell in this space?
The relationships with the people that you meet is probably the thing I hold most dear to myself. But the passion that I see in the people in this industry and how they work, and the drive to want to continue to lift manufacturing as one of the STEM areas. A lot of people think manufacturing is really dirty, and it probably was back in the 40s and the 50s, right? But to see the cleanliness around manufacturing today, and then start to bring in the automation side of it, it's the people, but it's also the technology. I mean, manufacturing is ever growing, ever evolving. If you stay the same, you fall behind. And manufacturing is what leads Michigan in particular. I mean, we are the manufacturing and automotive capital of the U.S., the hub of the U.S., if you will. So for me, It's the people, it's the technology, it's the passion that I have found in the people that work in the industry.
I've not been in the industry that long, but even the short amount of time that I have, just being able to talk to people and hear their stories and where they came from, and it's like people selling to people. You know, my dad always used to tell me that. People buy from people, and everybody's a person, so just treat them like a normal person and create a relationship.
When I went to middle school and high school, I was not your typical female. I took wood shop, I took auto shop.
You go, girl.
I took metal shop, and the first time I took a high-speed steel insert and I cut brass, which I know now like lasts forever, right? I was sold on it. I really was. And sticking out and breaking outside of what the norm for a female would not normally be is something, you know, I'm always trying to move forward and show, hey, we are equal and we can succeed in the same umbrella. And, you know, manufacturing's really invited that for me, because there are a lot of people in this industry that don't look at gender barrier. They look at opportunity.
Yeah. It's actually neat that you said that. Let's get into that a little bit, because people will ask me, oh, what's it like being a woman in manufacturing? Quote, I'm like, honestly, I don't ever see it that way, like in a negative way. I almost see it as like, you know what? When I'm in a room, I'm noticed because I am the only female, so I need to come prepared, I need to come researched, I need to talk to peers, I need to talk to mentors, learn from people like yourself, and like improve that, you know, I can be in this space. So what was kind of your experience with that growing into it, and like advice for like younger people that are trying to get into the industry?
I really had to find a good mentor or role model, someone that I could look up to. It doesn't hurt to be the first. I don't personally mind being the second in the industry or the third or the fourth, right? But seeing other women before me really paved the way. It's not necessarily going to be that uphill battle, right? So finding a good role model was huge for me, and that, I was very fortunate, happened at a very young age. So my mom actually was one of the first salespeople back in the 80s to sell cars.
No way.
And she would go to a convention in Detroit, and there would be 300 men and 3 females, right? And I know that for her, paving that way in that industry for me really showed me, yes, you can make a difference. Yes, you can be part of this crowd. So finding a role model, but also networking. Meeting as many people, and not just meeting them, but remembering them, and being able to circle back with individuals and build a network within the industry just to get to know people. I've only been out in the field here in Michigan for about 2 years, but internally within my own company, I've been able to network globally and become a resource for other people. The biggest advice I could give is find a great role model that you can look up to. And the second part of that is become a resource for others around you.
That's really good advice. I'm going to take that myself and go for it. And so I want to get into Sandvik a little bit.
Sure.
You guys are the leading tooling brand. Everybody knows who you guys are, the company I work for. We sell machine tools. We sell Mazak, Mitutoyo, Takamaz, companies that use Sandvik tooling. And so for us, that's a little bit different. Every 2 to 3 years, maybe there's a purchase, and there's a lot of different factors involved on what machine you're going to get and your price point and whatnot. But for tooling, you guys have to find a way to get it right the first time.
Yes.
And then for that customer to come back to you, because obviously tool life is shorter than whenever someone may be able to buy another machine again.
Absolutely.
Talk to us a little bit about that and how you approach it from a sales perspective, how Sandvik approaches it from a service, kind of all that tied in a bundle.
I think you said it first, Shae. People buy from people, right? Our name brand is known and it's out there, but really we're selling to people, and we're selling a solution. We're not selling a tool. So it's so important to go in and ask the right questions with your customers to understand what their needs are, what their challenges are, where we can help with process and productivity improvement with those customers, but building the relationship so that they will bring us back in. And what we found is there's a huge difference generationally today when you look at some of the older generation. They're still very much, bring me a catalog, I want to flip my fingers through the pages, you know, I want to feel the tools, I want to see the tools, I want to see you in here once a week or twice a week. But then there's the flip side of that that's really become a newer part of our industry over the last 10 years, which is the younger generation coming in. They want online tools, they want self-service tools that are available. They want to go in and search the website and find what they need without necessarily seeing a salesperson every week in their shop.
Sure.
So what we at Sandvik Coromant try to do is really offer both sides of the spectrum and everything in between, so that we're meeting the unique needs of every customer we interface with.
A lot of people have been talking about that because we're kind of in a weird spot, at least kind of what I'm noticing is talking to people in manufacturing, where we do have that part of the generation that still wants the salesperson to come in, and they still want it a little bit more traditional versus some of the younger people just want it quick, they want it now, they want to see it.
Yes.
And it's kind of interesting to fall between that, especially probably as a salesperson, but with you at Sandvik Coromant having both sides,
yes,
you could be like, okay, if you don't want to see me,
yep,
I'll send you this. If you want to see me, I'm more than happy to come in, right? You're like,
absolutely. One of the other things that we do offer is a high level of technical training, not only to our people internally, but also to our customer base. We have a great metal cutting technologies class that we offer several times a year. We have a product selector course. We have product specific training for advanced turning and advanced milling, and all of our training is open to our customer base. So our headquarters here in the US is located in Mebane, and we have a very state-of-the-art productivity center there where we actually bring our customers in, spend 2 or 3 days with them, and really teach them about not just our tooling. We aren't brand specific in our training. We're very industry specific, and how to apply these tools and how to look at different wear types on inserts to recognize where your challenges are when you get back into your own shop. Now, not everyone wants to do that face to face, right? So
sure,
we do offer an online metal cutting technologies course as well, and other online training tools to really meet both of those generational needs.
Yeah. Now, you said something that I do want to touch on is when you guys have these classes, you don't do it by brand specific, you do it by industry specific.
Yeah.
When it comes to tooling, are there certain tools, I'm not versed in tooling, so I just generally want to know, are there certain tools that you guys typically see being used more in aerospace defense, and is it because of the material that those industries are typically cutting, or what?
Absolutely. So in addition to our productivity center in Mebane, we have a unique aerospace center where we focus on really the high temperature, high alloy, super stainless steels and Inconels and things like that. It's really about the wear resistance on an insert when you're looking at some of those really strong metal components. From a tooling perspective, I mean, a couple of our tools that are really successful in high-speed steel, we've got a Coromant 790 cutter, and I'm sure our competitors also have tools, but ours win on productivity from the insert longevity perspective as well. Yeah, you used aerospace as an example, but we do have a new tool out this year. It really redefines the way that you manufacture a component, and it's our prime turning. Our Coroturn Prime is the correct name for it. But it shows a multi-directional way to cut material, and it's a proprietary turning insert, and up until we released this just a couple years ago, machining towards the spindle was unheard of, away from the spindle, excuse me. So prime turning gives you multi-directional, really heavy turning capability, and that's one of the things that we're definitely promoting right now.
Now, are you guys going to be showing that at IMTS?
Yes, for sure.
Let's talk about IMTS a little bit. I want to make sure that everyone listening can find you guys there. I'm sure you're going to be there, right?
Yes, I will.
Do you know your booth number? Do you guys know where you're at?
I was not prepared with the booth number. I'm so sorry about that.
All right.
But what I will tell you is we are doing something a little different this year than what we've done in previous IMTS years. Typically, we've been in the metal cutting hall. This year, we are going to be in the machine tool hall. So if you want to find us, come to the machine tool hall. Our tools will be demoed with several of our machine tool partners. DMG, Mori, Okuma, all sorts of different machine tool manufacturers, but look for our booth in the machining hall this year, which is different.
That is exciting. Yeah. That's probably a big change to get over into that hall. There's a lot of stuff going on there, so that's great. Well, I hope to see you there. And just to close it out, what kind of goals do you have here in the future as your career kind of moves forward, and how do you want to continue to influence women in manufacturing to give this industry a chance?
It took me 20 years to get where I'm at today, so from a goal perspective, I am blessed to have achieved that 20-year goal, and right now I think I'm just going to continue to get my feet wet out in the field, but networking and meeting other women in the industry and hopefully becoming that mentor or that role model for others. I had an opportunity back in September to be a breakout speaker at the Women in Manufacturing Conference in San Diego. And the women that I met there, it was amazing. an amazing experience. So I want to just continue to meet other women and build that network and offer advice, be available to speak and motivate other women in the industry to achieve their goals.
That's fantastic. I mean, even just sitting here right now, I feel the energy from you. You have that type of drive and personality to, even me, I'm like, oh, now I'm feeling excited about sales and tooling and inserts and IMTS. I'm like moving my way up.
That was my goal, Shae.
Yeah, no, you nailed it. Thank you so much for being with us. Any closing remarks?
Just watch for Sandvik Coromant at IMTS. We're excited to see everyone there, and I'm glad to be a part of the Advanced Manufacturing Expo this year here in Grand Rapids.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Shae.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for more interviews throughout the AME show. Thanks, and we'll see you soon.